I've got a little project on in this particular area. This is what I know as the log zone, where I usually produce logs for home use, but I want to be able to sell my timber through the Woodsure program, which is an accredited scheme. You can sell small quantities of timber that have been tested for their moisture content, and the timber is then ready to burn. So I've selected this particular area for a little bit of development, and I want to build a log store across there. But first job is to get all of this cleared out with the tractor and the pallet tines so that I can create a clear space. There's a couple of oak trees you can see with orange spots on there and there. They've got come down, and that means I can get my log store straight up there. This cage I think can stay here for now because we'll have used that up in the next couple of weeks for home. Move those pallets just there, and the hazel poles that were meant for a project at home. More on that in another decade. And then I haven't got my chainsaw with me, but it leaves those two oak trees then ready for felling. There's a bit of debris there, got to tidy up. I'm happy at that. I'm ready for a drink. I tell you what, it's red hot out here. It's been so long since we've had a nice day. It feels like summer. I need space for these now. Found one. Next job, get the two oaks sorted. And I've just managed to pick up a few extra bits. I've got my chainsaw kit on, and we'll get these two oak trees down. Not going to plan so far, but never fear. What I've had to do is a couple of these trees, I've got to prune some limbs off, because as I'm trying to pull it, it's hitting those limbs. And then the wind's against me, so the wind is coming from basically the northwest now, so it's pushing against the tree. I've had to prune off some of the limbs off the back of the tree to take the weight out of it. This is all very unorthodox because you normally do that before you put your felling cuts in, but I've got no choice. It's either that or I'll end up dropping it all in the hawthorn, and I'm just trying to avoid that. So I'm going to try it with a rope. If that doesn't work, it might be plan C. Quick while there's no wind. This one, maybe not. This one. Okay then, this one. Oh, finally, it wasn't so bad in the end, and we've missed my lean-to shelter by about 3 foot. That's superb. I'm glad that's down. I can see the sky again now. And a big clear-up operation. on to the next job, which is prepping these frames I've got here to create the structure for the log store. These are like pallet racking stagings, I don't really know what you call them. One over there that I can cut in half, so that means you've got 4 uprights. Now I'd love to be able to create a log store out of timber framing and all the rest of it, and it would look stunning. There's a couple of reasons why I'm not. Partially due to time, the amount of time it takes me to make that sort of thing, and also this being kind of modular, this system, it means that if I decide in a year or two that this isn't in the right place, or I want to expand or make it smaller or anything like that, this is going to be a little bit easier than having a timber frame structure. It was relatively cheap on Facebook Marketplace, and it was there. I've got all the components, I can add to it. So this ground slopes away, and I'm trying to decide, as you look and something slopes down now, whether to go for something that's dead horizontal with a bubble and get the rack in so it's like horizontal that way but the ground drops away, or whether to track the ground, and does it matter? What I could do is, just to satisfy my mind, is drop this slab into the ground a little bit, and the next 2 I can have them sitting on the ground. Coming together, that is. I'm happy with that. My idea is to put some weld mesh at the back of this so the logs push against the weld mesh, but I was just trying to determine how high to have this top rail. I want my weld mesh as high as possible so that this log store and the one that I'm going to put here are back to back and share the same roof, but they are sort of independent stores. I've got butterfingers today. Gonna have to do some more modifications, something I've not quite thought about, because I used a shorter rail on there because it's what I got, and this one is a different system with slightly different fittings, and this one is a longer rail. What it means is we've got an overhang, and I want to be able to brace this blue post against the orange post. So I've come up with a cunning plan. It would appear this has got 4 tabs on it. To get this 3 tab to fit a 4 tab, that tab and that tab will fit, so the middle one's got to be cut out, and then also these fancy hooks on the end have got to be cut off. That fits better than the ones that are designed to fit in there. I did a daft thing when it came to editing some of the files for this roof that I did. I realised that when I put the timbers on, I managed to delete the footage before I saved it onto the computer. So I just wanted to show you what I did with regard to the roof. I used all of these 4x2s. There was nothing really particularly technical to it. About the only thing I couldn't do, because the seams of the sheets are not equal, because they're all a little bit of a mismatch, I just had to find the centres to put an intermediate in. It's probably best you don't look too closely up here. I've managed to get some screws in just around the edges, a couple of big logs on top. We'll be alright till next week, so I can get back and finish the roofing sheets off. So I just want to try and get these sheets fixed down tight. That's how hard that is. See that one? Blunt drill bit. Basics of the roof are on, all fixed down. It's a good job because it's very windy. And then we've got these saggy bits. And let's face it, nobody wants saggy bits. So I've got some bolts I'm going to try and fit in these holes up here to try and pull these up tight, because what will happen is otherwise the water will run in and run down, and I don't want that. Oh, don't do this. Managed to pop in a couple of what I call tech screws, which is them self-tapping, self-drilling thing just there. A couple of three of them in. They won't hit anybody on the head. And then last one is I just want to bolt. This one is a really strong sheet. I can't bend it with my hands. I managed to get a lot of the spring out. We're putting some screws in, but I want to just bolt it to the sheet underneath. If you managed to watch our videos from last year, you might remember a haul of scrap metal I got, and this is some weld mesh that was in that scrap metal, and I knew it had come in handy. If you're a hoarder like me, you'll know exactly what I mean. Never throw anything away. So I've got another big sheet, if you can see that, just there. It's a bit mangled at the top, so we'll get that unbent in order to stop the logs from falling out, because I shan't be stacking them, I'm just going to throw them in. I want some weld mesh that might be in two stages. So one stage at about 3 foot, and then another one I can put in that will take me up to about 5 foot, so I can throw the last ones in the top then. I'm happy with the way that's gone. I don't know what you can see. Aerial view. Just need a drone now to give you some aerial shots. Not perfect, but that is getting somewhere. I've managed to get that mangly twisted bit out, which I didn't think I would. Just learnt a new knot on YouTube based on a comment I got on one of my videos about bundling and tying. It's called the anchor knot. It's like a slip knot, and I've done some experiments in the van, and you know, grip, because it has 2 loops around it, so just one. It's very good. It sort of looks like a bike shelter or a bush shelter. What does it remind you of? By all means, pop your best answer in the comments. So if you come up with a really good idea, we could nickname it whatever you call it. Well, I'm not happy it's raining. It has thrown up some issues with drips, but we've got some backflow. I think it's doing the same here as well. So these open fronted areas I want to try and cage in, but have a removable cage system somehow, and in my mind I want to try and get it done as quick as possible. I also want something that I haven't got to keep coming back to every 6 months or so and think, oh, this isn't very good, I'm going to have to redo all this. And in my mind at the moment I'm going for a low level one that could well remain permanent, and then above it one that would just sit on top with the weight of the logs pulling this way, and that one then can be removed when the logs get low so I can get access to the others. Can you grab that? I've just got it. It's like fishing. Quick test fit, that's the basics of it. Excellent. As you may be able to tell, it's pouring with rain, and I've basically had enough at the moment. Of course, I've not been very well, so. And there's the tops of these still to do, and we'll have to pick another day for that. I've run out of timber. I've run out of motivation for today. Right, I'm going to go, pack my tools away. I'll see you on the next day. I've just had the final push on my Woodsure log store. Managed to get all of the wire in the frames, top and bottom frames all done. This wire on the end has been finished, and a little finishing touch is these nettings I've put on the outside, which I'm hoping will stop some of the driving rain, capture the droplets and stop them from dropping straight onto the timber inside. But they are almost perfect fit. This big one that wraps around the end, I had that gifted to me with the IBC cages. I went inside it and found a scrap netting in there. This one is from Ellie Ray's trampoline, and it fits just perfectly all along this side. So I think that is a great use for what otherwise is an annoying bit of waste material. And with it being black, I think it helps to disguise the timber store itself. Let me know what you think. I'm getting smoked out now, which is awesome. So that completes this particular video. All we need to do now is to fill it up, and I think we'll save that for another video. So thanks for watching. If you're able to, why not have a go at building yourself a little bit of a log store, and I'll see you on the next one.